Hello there. My name is Lynette Yearberry, and I am your instructor for Accounting 2310, Intermediate Accounting. Let me take a moment and introduce myself and welcome you to my course. There's a pretty good chance we're going to spend the entire next year together, and I'm pleased to meet you. Excuse me. So, my name's Lynette. I'm a CPA and an MBA. Been with the college for 28 years, and I started when I was, do some math, probably 10 years old. All right, maybe a little older than that. Um, and I taught a lot of online classes. This is the first time I taught intermediate accounting online, so you'll be the guinea pigs. Yay for you. Let me start by going over the syllabus, and then we'll move on to some other topics. You can see my telephone number. It's printed there on the top of the document. You can call me at work or at home. More than half of my load of classes is online, so I often work from my office here, where I'm welcoming you right now. So feel free to call me here. I take my lovely little dog asleep in the corner here for a walk every morning, so we get up quite early. So please don't call after 9. You can see my office number at the college, my email address, and my consultation hours. Feel free to drop by during any of those hours or make an appointment on Friday if you'd like to come by for a visit. I don't have any classes on Friday, and so it's best to make an appointment if you're going to come then. Let's move on to textbook. The textbook I use for this class is a Spiceland book, 7th edition. It's an intermediate book, and it's a full-on intermediate book. It's a great book. It has a lot of nice ancillary material we use. And we do all of our homework, and we're going to do our testing on Connect Plus. That access code is required for this course, and if you bought your book at the bookstore, it came enclosed in the package. I know the book was a little pricey. It's good to know it covers Accounting 2410 as well. And I also want you to know that you can use the electronic book and homework for free for 14 days. So if you're waiting on financial aid, don't let that stop you from starting the homework. That's always fatal. You can work even though you haven't purchased the product. Next thing on our little syllabus here is the answer key. The answer key is available in the accounting lab, which has been moved downstairs in the business building to the first floor for a little while as they remodel. It's in BB 118. The hours are listed there. The lab closure days are listed there. Please know that you can get help in that lab during those hours, and you can also sign up for a free tutor. The tutor is wonderful. She took intermediate accounting last year and did a fine job. So I know that she's a good tutor and can offer you good help. Let's talk a little bit about this course description. This course is the first of 2 in the intermediate accounting series. And I'm not going to list the topics we cover. You can review them yourself. But during the course of the year, we cover all but just a few chapters of the book. Let's talk about the course procedures. There are 2 ways this class is being taught this semester, on-site and online. And the major difference between the 2 is the on-site class will have some face-to-face time where they can bring in questions, and we'll talk about various topics in a lecture discussion format. And then they'll spend a large amount of time working together in groups doing their homework, and I'll be moving from group to group and helping them. The online section obviously can't do that, but you're welcome to join the on-site class any day that you want. My course procedure includes using a course schedule, and I provided the same course schedule to both the online and on-site students, so the online students will always know what the on-site students are working on and should be at about that place themselves. So if you feel like dropping in for a lecture because you've read some topics and it's confusing to you, it will be timely and you're welcome to join us. The way that I teach this class is there are a lot of things that students have to do prior to class. They have to read, and they have to watch some media and do some adaptive learning quizzes. And if you do this before class, it changes the dynamics of what we can do in class. And we can spend our time doing homework and going further into topics. So please be sure that you get ready for class. If you're an on-site student, if you're an online student, get ready for that class too. I call it a read, watch, and do approach. You read a few pages, not many. You watch a little bit of related media to what you've just read, and then you do an interactive quiz. Then we talk about it in class, answer any of your questions, and do some homework. And I find this is a very good approach to teaching this class. It's kind of activity-based. It's not a full flipped class. I don't teach in that format. It's more of an activity-based. It's a read and watch and do approach. Let's talk a little bit about course evaluation. Your homework assignments, your presentations, practice sets, and participation is worth 20% of your grade. The adaptive learning quizzes that you'll take, they're called Learn Smarts, and they're on Connect, worth 10% of your grade. And examinations are worth 70% of your grade, equaling 100%. Amazing how an accounting teacher can hit 100%, isn't it? Now let's talk about what that means. Every time you take a test, I'll transfer all of your grades from Connect into Canvas, and it will turn into a percent, and you can see what your grade to date is. So if you happen to have a, say, 80% average, then you can see you'll be coming in right here on a B- for the course to date. It's a moving target. It tells you where you are at that point in time. In that way, you're always going to know how you're doing in the class, and I really like it for students to know how they're doing. Let's move on a little and talk about homework. Homework assignments are an integral part of the learning process for accounting. You're encouraged to submit your homework on time, and we'll probably do a large quantity of it together, though some of your homework problems will have different numbers than the ones that we do in class, so we'll do them together, and then you can apply what you learned to your homework problems. You can do homework late. Let's get rid of that. You can do homework late, but it's programmed in to take a 10% penalty off for each day that it's late. Since it's programmed in, there are no exceptions. Let's talk a little bit about adaptive learning quizzes. These are on Connect. And the way this course works is you read a few pages and then you take an adaptive learning quiz on it. And online students should have the adaptive learning quiz and the reading done prior to class. On-site students should do it before they tackle the homework. And an adaptive quiz is set to 15 minutes, and it'll ask you questions about what you just read for 15 minutes on the average. If you miss a lot of questions, it will give you even more questions, and yet if you get everything right, then it will move on and move more quickly. So how fast you move through that kind of depends on how much you paid attention while you read. You can take Learn Smart quizzes late, but they do have a 10% per day penalty. And it's good to know this. You are graded on completeness, not on accuracy. Let's talk now about exams. There are several online chapter exams that you'll take, and one on-site final. When I say on-site, if you don't live in the area, you'll find a proctor, so that's not a problem. Students who need to take an exam other than the scheduled date can make an arrangement with me to do that, and I can set the test up for a different time for them. Students who just flat out take it late will be allowed to do that, but they will be subject to a you got it 10% per day penalty because it's programmed in and I can't change it. The final exam is given in person. It's not computerized, and you need to get at least 50% on that to pass the course. Stated another way, regardless of what your grade was going into the final exam, if you don't achieve at least 50% on that test, you won't pass the course. I have some ideas for the final exam that might change it to be a little easier, not harder. It'd never go harder than the syllabus. So we'll talk about that as that gets closer. Let's talk about e-portfolio. By now, as students at Salt Lake Community College, you all should have e-portfolios for your gen ed class. And in the accounting department, we're going to start building an e-portfolio section for your field of study. And we have selected and are selecting this semester a project out of each course to populate into your ePortfolio. We'll have you complete in this course a case assignment, case 6-4, and we'll upload that into your ePortfolio into coursework in a section built specifically for your major. I'm really excited about that, and I want you to do your best writing, calculating, and analytical skills so that you can use this in job interviews. Once you see what we have in mind, I think you're going to agree it's going to make a difference. If you don't have an ePortfolio or you find this a little intimidating, there are some places online on the college website where you can get some help. But really, I think I'd go to the library, and in 1 hour, you'll leave with an ePortfolio and ready to rock and roll on that. So we have an ePortfolio subject in this. I'm scrolling in a different way. Sorry about the little page 2, but it's just a little quieter noise-wise. Now let's talk about accommodating disabilities. If you find that you have a disability that needs to be accommodated, please get a hold of the Disability Resource Center as soon as possible. The Resource Center is in the College Center, and I've listed their room number and their phone number. Nobody likes to make arrangements through the DRC Center, I've noticed, but if that's going to apply to you, please get that done, and don't wait. Let's just get it done, and if you don't want to use it, fine, and if you do, then it's in place. Course learning outcomes will relate to similar to our ePortfolio project. Although we have many learning outcomes in the accounting program, the one that we're focusing on in this class is the time value of money. We'll do an assessment on this, and we'll also do our ePortfolio assignment on this topic. I'm going to move to a note about responsibility. I have done a lot of work to get material ready for you, media ready for you to watch, adaptive learning quizzes made, and homework assignments and tests for you to complete. And I've done everything I can to stack the deck in your favor because I want you to succeed. I really want you to succeed. But this is a hard course, and you're going to have to do your part in it. There was a jump when you went from accounting 1110 to 1120. I know y'all felt it. I saw it on your faces. There's another jump as you go from 1120 to 2310, and then another jump as you move into 2410. We just keep tightening the bolt on your head. But don't worry too much about those jumps because I've taught intermediate for over 20 years, and I know with confidence that you're ready to make them. Even if you don't, I do. So the note about responsibility is I'm going to do my part, and I need you to meet me halfway. Now a little discussion on the code of conduct. Your tests are going to be online this semester for the first time, and I expect you to work independently on those and on anything else that I ask you to. To do otherwise would be a violation of the student code of conduct and would be dealt with according to those policies. If you want to see what that looks like, you can go ahead and follow that link. Studies show that 50% of today's students admit to cheating in college, but I know that I don't have a single one in this class. So I'm really excited, and I just mentioned this so that we all have an understanding that tests are to be done independently. There's that clicking again. So the outline for our course shows what chapters we're going to cover and the topics of those chapters. And if you want to see specific homework assignments, then you'd need to look on our course schedule, and you would need to also look on Connect where you'll do all of those assignments. The note from me now to you, a heartfelt statement to you would be successful completion of this course requires that you stay up on your homework and hold down your share of the responsibilities in a timely fashion. Getting behind is the #1 reason for failing an accounting course, and you already know that because look how far you've come. So stay organized, use the course schedule, cover the material at an even pace, and it won't choke you. If you had to eat an elephant, how would you do it? A day at a time. And don't forget, there's high quality tutoring available in the accounting lab. A woman who does that was an intermediate student last year, and she's brilliant. So take advantage of that free service if you need to. Good luck. I hope you have a wonderful, successful experience in this course. And thank you for enrolling in my course. As you make your way through this semester, you'll see a lot of media from me, whether it's pen casting, podcasting, or YouTube's. And I want to point out to you that I'm an accounting teacher. I don't make movies. And sometimes my sweet little dog who's sleeping in the corner over there barks, and a plane flies by, or the garbage man comes by, or the phone rings. Things like that happen. Or I get a little message in the corner of my machine telling me I have an email. You're going to have to laugh those off. I can't edit these. I don't get paid extra to make them. But I want to have some FaceTime with you and me together in a kind of intimate sharing experience. So I make them anyway and laugh them off for me, will you please? Don't take them too seriously. They aren't edited. They're not the most professional things in the world, but they certainly are fun to make. And I'm glad to meet you. Let's get the show on the road. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.